If you want to become a nurse but are worried about some of the things you've heard, just keep watching. I'll never forget this conversation I had with one of my customers at a restaurant that I was waitressing at before I got into nursing school. This lady was like asking me what I was going to school for and like what I wanted to be. And when I told her I wanted to go into nursing school, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm a nurse. Don't do it. It's literally the worst job. It's not worth the money. And the way that, hospitals treat their nurses and the way some of the patients treat their nurses is just so awful. Like, it's not worth it. Don't do it." And I'm like not the type of person to be easily influenced by like other people's experiences. I'm like, okay, that's your experience. Like, you don't know me. At the time, I knew I wanted to get into aesthetic nursing. So I was like, I'm not even going to work bedside. Like, this lady, she doesn't know me. Like, she doesn't know my plan. And then the other day I came across this TikTok of this girl who had been a bedside nurse for like 6 years. And she was talking about how much she absolutely hated it and how she didn't feel like she identified with being a nurse at all. And, she was telling stories about how like her patients have like blatantly disrespected her, like thrown things at her, physically assaulted her, her coworkers, and she felt like her staff, her coworkers, and the doctors like all didn't have respect for her or each other. And it was just like a very toxic environment. And the fact that there are people out there that have this experience is something that scared me so much when I was becoming a nurse and when I was getting into nursing school. Because the truth is, there is validity in people's experience, people that deal with this stuff like on a daily basis. And there are units that aren't that great. There are definitely things that nurses go through that aren't fair and aren't worth the money. But I think what bothers me the most is that not everyone's experience, like their own personal experience, is not reflective of how nursing always is and how nursing is as a whole. Like, I don't think that one person's experience should influence everyone else's, because their experience isn't 100% representative of what nursing is all the time. And like, that's just the truth, Like, obviously, if you're working on a unit where they're giving you like 7 to 8 patients, where you barely have enough time to get to everyone, handle the things you need to handle, and they're all mad at you because you're taking forever, and on top of that, they don't feel good, and you don't even get to experience like the fulfillment of being able to take your time to care for someone, which is like why we became nurses in the first place, then of course you're gonna be like bitter and hate your job and like not want to continue doing it. And obviously conditions like that in the workplace should not be okay, should not be normal, and that should not be like the norm of what we have to put up with just to be a nurse and like help people. But what some people do fail to realize, or, maybe they just forget, is that you don't have to do that. Like, there are so many different things that you can do as a nurse. Like, this title of RN license, like, gives you so much range to do so many different things. Like, it's so crazy. And like I said, I wanted to be an aesthetic nurse, and here I am working in a neonatal ICU, literally bedside, and I absolutely love it. I don't feel underpaid at all. I happily pick up overtime all the time. I love all my coworkers. Of course, we have a day that sucks every once in a while, but if you don't want to work med-surg, you don't have to. You don't have to work bedside. You can work in the OR. You can work in labor and delivery. You can work in the NICU. You can work at an office. You can be an aesthetic nurse. You can work on like the tech and research side of things. You can work in like diagnostic offices where you don't even have to work holidays or on weekends. There's not many situations where you can go to school for 2 years, take this test that has a fairly high passing rate, and come out making like 70 something K a year as like a brand new worker. But that's what's valuable about being an RN, is that you don't have to necessarily identify with like the traditional bedside caretaker. Like, you really don't. And there's nothing wrong with it if you don't resonate with that. I didn't resonate with that like all throughout nursing school. Like, I really didn't. Nursing shouldn't be looked at as a calling for everyone. At the end of the day, it is a stable job that has benefits and shouldn't make you like emotionally miserable. And I get it if, your first year you kind of have to stake it out and maybe work in an area that's not like your top choice, just to get to somewhere better. Happens all the time. Our field is not the only field where, you have to kind of go through like the grunt work at first to get somewhere better. But I mean, there's people that will stay at bedside for 5 to 6 years and absolutely hate it the whole time. And I will just never understand that. Like, that could never be me. Like, I find it very hard to believe that there's certain situations where that is your only choice for 5, 6, 7 years, like 5 years plus, After like 2 years, you can really go wherever you want. I think what it is a lot of people feel stuck or like they have no choice. And you need to know that that is not the case, especially if you have experience. Like, world is your oyster. And if you're not a nurse yet and you're contemplating, or you're just getting out of school and contemplating what you want to do, don't let the horrible situations and experiences of other people ruin nursing as a whole for you. Your path is your own, and you have no idea what you're going to experience as a nurse and how it might literally change your life. You might absolutely love it. You might totally surprise yourself. So take the advice in, but don't let it completely scare you away, because there are just far too many good opportunities and paths and ways to make money in the nursing field. Nursing can click with you in an entirely different way than it clicks with other people. And this just goes for any job, any experience in general. But what's important to remember is that you are not stuck and you have control over what you do with your life and your career. And at the end of the day, if you give it a shot and it's just not your thing, then it's just not your thing, and that's okay. What's important to remember is that at the end of the day, you need to make your own decisions based off your own experiences and your own opinions and not anyone else's. Otherwise, you'll never really know, and you could be missing out on a great experience. And I'm very glad that I became a nurse in so many different ways, and I am not a adult bedside med-surg nurse, and I never will be, and that's okay. And I hope you guys enjoyed my TED Talk. Bye!